What's up everyone, Willy Apple here, and today iOS 18 is 7 days away. Hard to think about. We're going to be discussing all the iOS 18 leaks that we are expected to have. The first thing was reported by Mark Gurman. The first thing is we can place apps wherever we want, so we can place them down here. To be honest, I think this home screen layout, this home screen page would be a lot better if everything's just moved down one. I just have all the widgets on top. Maybe if we just move the widgets top and then all the apps are down, maybe that would look pretty sick. I honestly can't wait for this feature, if it's actually true, of course, since who knows, even though this is from a reliable leaker, it may not actually be true. We will not know until Apple announces it at WWDC. So if we get the icons moved down one, that would be amazing to have inside of iOS 18, and then just the widgets on top. We'll have full freedom. I could place the chest right here if I wanted to, and Find My would just go right here, and then there'll just be a gap there. Personally, I wouldn't like that, but some people might. So maybe they could do cool things for the home screen. Of course, it's going to be still on a grid layout, which personally I think is a good idea, because I don't think having icons just arranged without a grid would look really good. Now the next thing is we're getting some changes to Control Center. Now I know Mark Gurman said this last year, but maybe it was for iOS 18, but we're supposed to get some sort of changes with the Control Center. Now what changes will we get? I do not know, but the one thing I hope for is that we are able to rearrange these icons right here without going into the settings and going into Control Center. Who knows, maybe they'll overhaul this Control Center completely and make it look really good. Alright, the next thing was also reported from a reliable leaker. We're supposed to get a revamped calculator app. So here's our calculator app right now. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be revamped. Maybe the UI would be kind of similar, but maybe they'll rewrite the UI into Swift UI. And I'll go over that and a little bit of why they would want to do that. And apparently we're supposed to get an easier way to do calculations, for example, feet to inches, built into the calculator app, so you don't have to use Siri anymore, since you know Siri's kind of dumb right now. We'll get into Siri in a little bit. Hopefully we have a dedicated backspace button, since this is kind of annoying to do when I could just back, for example. I do not want to just swipe to go back anymore. And the reason why I think Apple's going to be rewriting the UI into Swift UI is just so Apple could easily port the calculator app to the iPad and eventually to the Mac as well, because there's no calculator app on the iPad, and the calculator app on the Mac looks like it's from 2001. And Swift UI is really good with cross-platform, and it's easier to make it look good on iPadOS as well. So that is why I think Apple's going to be making the calculator app Swift UI on the iPhone, iPad, and Mac, having one consistent calculator across all platforms. Oh, by the way, the calculator app has not been updated since iOS 11. Hard to believe that, but that is actually true. Code has remained unchanged pretty much since iOS 11. Alright, the next thing has to do with Siri. So here we have Siri right here. It is really dumb. Now the first thing we are supposed to get with Siri is it's going to be better AI, basically. It's going to be able to search stuff on the web out for us instead of having to do it ourselves, basically. You might have seen this meme that I'm showing on screen before, but you know that Siri is kind of dumb nowadays compared to ChatGPT and Gemini. Hopefully Siri is a lot better inside of iOS 18. And speaking of Siri, in an update coming in possibly 2025 or maybe late 2024, we'll be able to do combined requests. For example, open the Find My app, turn on the flashlight, turn on airplane mode. You can see all it did was turn on the flashlight right there instead of turning on airplane mode like I asked. So getting combined requests would be an amazing thing. For example, right now Apple has turn on the flashlight, open Willy widgets. Yeah, you can see Siri can really only do a couple things at a time, and eventually will close when it makes sense to close. So it would be really nice getting a combined request inside of Siri. And hopefully they integrate ChatGPT into Siri natively. And speaking of AI, we're expected to get a bunch of AI improvements. So we're supposed to get the retouch feature that's currently on macOS, and apparently it's going to be a lot better than it is right now on macOS onto the iPhone, so that will be amazing to see right here. Now the next thing we're supposed to get are themes on the home screen. So right now our icons are largely up to the developer's choice, unless they have this feature in place where if we were to go into the settings app right here, then go into app icon. You can change the app icon. That's only if the developer provides icons. But I think this is going to be built in natively into iOS. We're able to choose the color, and pretty much the only thing the developer will need to do is choose what the logos will be, and the background will be up to the user itself, maybe within the settings app or something. Or maybe we'll get multiple home screen layouts, for example. Who knows? If the developer wants to have their icon change, it's largely up to the developer. So that's what's currently happening right now. So if I wanted all purple, I could not have all purple on my home screen unless I do with a gimmicky shortcut or a theme app, which I do not want to make right now, especially because of leaks. So that's why Willy Widgets does not have themes. But enough about my apps, you should just download them. Alright, so the next feature rumored to come to iOS is a redesign, like a redesign kind of. So currently the settings apps looks like this. It looks good, I would say, but it could always be better. And something modern that we could see within the settings app is something like this. So this is what I think the settings could look at based on Apple's recent design trends with visionOS, watchOS, and even the Apple Sports app and Journal app. This is what I think we could potentially be getting within iOS 18. This is the design I think. This was made by me in SwiftUI, in case you were wondering. And the Messages app could also look something like this. I'm not really proud of what I did right here because I couldn't really replicate the bubbles inside of SwiftUI that well. But this is what I think the Messages app will look like. The score feature, I don't know what I could have put there, but I could have put something different, I bet. Yeah, that is what I think it could look like based on the Apple Sports app, which, if you might not know, has a weird design right here. As you can see, it's different than any other iOS app. But yeah, that is what I think we could be getting inside of iOS 18 via a design similar to watchOS and maybe visionOS kind of. Now, the next thing has to do with the Messages app. I'm going to open the Messages app concept I made just so I don't leak my messages. But we're supposedly going to get RCS coming to the iPhone, which is going to be huge when texting Android users. It will no longer be a pain. You'll be able to send full quality images. It's end-to-end encrypted, so cell carriers cannot see what you're texting. It'll be a whole lot better than it is right now. And thank God Apple is adding RCS to the iPhone, as it's going to be amazing. And speaking of that, we do not have any good way to react with stickers or emojis. If we were to tap and hold, I do not have it right now. We have default reactions. I'll show you what they look like on screen, but we do not have emoji reactions. We kind of do, but it's not really good, I think. So if Apple could add emoji reactions, that would be a really good thing to see, which I think it will have to come to iMessage if it's going to come into RCS. That's like the only thing RCS is really good at, to be honest. Now, another thing is we're going to the theme of AI. We're supposed to be getting like something that Arc Search has. We'll summarize with AI on what content's supposed to be like. For example, AI will be like, this is what the answer is. For example, maybe inside of here we'll get what is 4 plus 4? Something like this is what we'll probably get. It'll probably have an AI chatbot say, the answer is 8, or something like that. Instead of us having a searcher go into the calculator, AI will just be able to summarize what Google says or something. Which Google did come up with a feature like that, but it's terrible. So hopefully with Apple, it's a lot better. And you just put it in the search bar, and yeah, that's what I think we will be getting inside of Safari. Now, AI is supposed to be baked across iOS. There's a lot of other apps that are supposed to be getting AI, like the Calendar app with summaries of what's going to happen that day. That would be a pretty useful feature. Maybe I would use the Calendars app more often, since I don't really use the Calendars or Reminders app. Hopefully, Apple can convince me with notes, maybe summarizing in there. Added notes, we're also supposed to be getting a math notes feature, which is really interesting to think about. I'm taking trigonometry next year, so maybe it could be used for that. Or maybe I just need to handwrite it once again. Who knows, maybe Apple can convince me to go back to the iPad and start doing math notes on my iPad, who knows. But we're supposed to be getting some sort of notes integration with the calculator app for math. But we'll see what happens with that. Oh, and another thing is the Apple Music widget. Do I have it placed? I'll just place it real fast. So the Apple Music widget is supposed to be getting completely overhauled. I'm not sure what Apple would do with it, but hopefully they add the next and the previous button with it. Maybe Maybe with this they'll add interactive sliders for widgets. That would be a pretty cool thing, and you can like control the music with a tap and hold right on the home screen with widget kits. I would definitely integrate something like that for Willy widgets. But yeah, that is something that we are expected to get with iOS 18. But yeah, that is everything we are supposed to be getting with iOS 18. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. Download my apps, Willy Widgets, and StudyRect down in the description down below. I know you might not need StudyRect, but you will want to have it for a big update coming to it. And I'm also going to be going live every day this week. And I'm also going to be reacting to WWDC live on this channel, so be there for that. And see you in the next video. Bye!